We've talked about Nintendo's trouble with stories, but we have no trouble loving these ones.
Let's go!
So, Nintendo, we talked about how sometimes their storytelling ability is...
It's an afterthought many times.
It's all about the gameplay, but they really hit it out of the park with these 10.
Yeah.
And I should give a disclaimer that neither of us are like huge fans of RPGs. And there are some on this list, obviously, but like the Mother series, I've never played.
We believe you guys, though.
Fire Emblem series, I've played very, very little. We know those stories are great. We just haven't had that much experience with them, so they're not on the list.
We're gonna plug up our holes at some point. Everybody's got library holes in their experience. We're just gonna do our best, guys. That's what comments are for.
That's indeed what comments are for.
Number 10. Mario and Luigi, Partners in Time. This is a very creative game. I always enjoy Mario games that, they don't have Bowser stealing Princess Peach. There's a different conflict, a different world many times. This is great. It's a story about time travel that actually makes sense. A lot of times I don't enjoy time travel mechanics in storytelling, but they did a good job. They made a storyline reason to get Mario and Luigi together with baby Mario and Luigi, so that's cool. And it incorporates baby Bowser, someone we don't see very often.
Not too often at all.
And the end boss is great, and it culminates in this consequence of messing with time. The Mario and Luigi have to own up to having traveled time.
Jeez.
Because you can't do it without messing stuff up.
That's a pretty important message, I guess, for future time travelers. That's really cool, though. So I was really close to putting Super Mario Galaxy in this spot, but then I realized that we would have literally the bottom half of our list is all Mario games. So that's my honorable mention.
Okay.
Super Mario Galaxy with the Rosalina story. But instead I put the Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Yeah.
And it is a game, so I cheated it in there.
It's an expensive stinking game.
It is, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
It's tough to find, but it just tells a story in such a unique way. It's not just a narrator narrates it.
Yeah.
You play through it, you find out what's happening in all these side stories through your scans, through the lore data and all this stuff.
This trickle of mysterious information that you can go through at your own pace. You can store it, read it later.
Exactly. Cool. And it's almost like a detective story. You're trying to find out what happens. And of course, you have Metroid Prime turning into Dark Samus and that sort of stuff. Spoilers if you've never played it.
Too late. The writing that went into those games is just off the charts.
It is.
All of those scans, that is some intense localization, translation,
seriously
writing. It's very impressive. Paper Mario 2, Thousand Year Door, beloved Paper Mario game, perhaps the pinnacle of the series. Again, Peach was not stolen by Bowser. The main problem in this game, the main enemies are the X-Nauts, interesting people. There's this cool relationship between Peach and the computer tech. There's these long exposition segments where they're talking to each other, and you actually get to watch this artificial intelligence become more human with Peach. So I think it's pretty neat. Something that awesome. No other Nintendo game has really done. 7 is Super Paper Mario. You're going through this game, and it's not against Bowser, it's against this guy called Count Bleck. Yes.
And then you see
he's hilarious.
Through these, yes, he is. That's one of the great things about the Mario RPGs, is that they're really funny games. Yeah. And then you see when you beat a chapter, a small, black screen with white text and some fairy tale romance going on between these two characters. And then you find their identity at the end of the game, and the bad guy isn't the actual bad guy, it's this other bad guy, and it's so cool.
Yeah. Number 6, Kid Icarus Uprising. a Sakurai game.
Mhm.
It's extremely dialogue heavy and character heavy. There's a lot of character arcs going on, different gods and stuff, and very good voice acting. It's fully
Mhm.
voice acted, and it is a little cheesy, but it's good. It's like you're watching a Saturday morning cartoon. Just lots and lots of banter, interesting characters, plot points being driven by these gods clashing and stuff. It's just very entertaining dialogue.
And there's not a whole lot of that in a lot of Nintendo games.
Yes, and another good thing is the story kind of breaks the fourth wall in some points. Like you get to level 12 or something, and the credits start rolling, but then Hades just busts through the credits, and then there's another like half of the game to go.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff.
Awesome. All right, number 5 is Super Mario RPG. Is the only one just for me. And I love this game. I love the story. Once again, Bowser is not the bad guy through most of this game. You know, he joins your party.
Mhm.
You get to see all these new interesting characters. They have their own story arcs. They have different motivations for what they're doing. One's, you know, trying to defend, you know, the stars. One's trying to find his parents.
Yeah.
He's on a quest to find his parents. And Bowser's trying to reclaim his castle, and apparently that's a good thing. And it's just so wacky, and yeah.
I think I'm finding a pattern that maybe the Bowser steals Princess Peach story is not a good storyline. We don't even know why he wants her. What is he gonna do with her?
I think I've heard a little bit of why and the motivation, but still,
I
it's
don't care.
old. Yeah, we don't care.
Number 4 is Super Metroid. This is a game that actually does the Samus and Metroid relationship right. Like the Metroids are a threat, but you can tell Samus has a little bit of a soft spot, but then the Metroids are kind of crazy, and the baby Metroid tries to attack Samus at one point until it realizes who Samus is, and then it leaves, then it comes back later and saves Samus, and it's all really good stuff. It's compelling reason to play the game. This epic ending, and a nod must be given to Metroid Other M for recreating this ending in fully cinematic 3D. It adds to the experience of Super Metroid, makes the memory of that game even better.
I would definitely have to agree with you there. Like, whatever problem that you had with Metroid Other M, it wasn't the graphics.
No.
Because it might have not have been HD. It might not have been up to par for the time for the other consoles. But for the Wii, that is the best looking game for the Wii. And recreating that Super Metroid scene.
Yeah. It looks near HD. Like, they did fantastic with that.
Mm-hmm. Just as a side note, when we were talking about the whole princess stealing thing, we got to make a top 10 worst stories list, and they're all going to be like Mario games. Anyway, continuing on. Actually, I know what story would be number 1, but Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Majora's Mask is awesome.
Number 3.
It's not Ganon. It's not your run-of-the-mill story.
It's a big fat ugly moon.
Is a big fat ugly moon about to crash into Termina, and just like the story that the game presents as like the regular story is good, but it's all of the side characters and even like a lot of the theories, like the Link is dead theory. I love it because it just adds to the mystery of this game.
Yeah, I think stories that you can continue to think about, try to figure out, theorize on after completing a game is a good sign of a well-told story. Not everything should always be tied up in a perfect bow, you know. Number 2 is Skyward Sword. It's got a lot of things going for it. It was exciting to play this because we knew that it would be at the beginning of the timeline, beginning of the continuity, so there's a lot of hype. You know, we're going to see the origins of things. I liked how there's a down-to-earth non-princess Zelda, you know. She wasn't labored down by the problems of her people. She was just this fun neighbor of yours. It was cool to see that.
Who pushes you off of statues.
Yeah. There's this whole really cool Groose character arc, and you really don't see character arcs in Zelda games that often. Usually you've got good people that are trying to save the world and bad people that are trying to destroy the world.
Yes. Or NPCs that say one line of dialogue,
right,
and then that's all they're good for.
Yeah, he's one of the best NPCs, right? He's on the list.
Yep.
Origins of Ganondorf. We got to see how this demonic spirit thing, where he comes from. And then there's also, you haven't beaten it quite yet. You're so close. Well, plug your ears or whatever.
La 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 la.
Fee makes a sacrifice to help steal Demise away, which is awesome. Yeah, just character depth in a character that's normally very robotic. You've got a 27% chance of victory here. And then also you get to see the origins of Hyrule. Link and Zelda establish it. It's awesome. So many origins, Ganondorf, Hyrule, everything. It's awesome.
Our number one pick is Metroid Fusion, and I've already talked about how I really, really like this game. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect setting because it's got you alone in this ship, mm-hmm. and you're going up against 3 scary bad guys. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's Metroids running around, and you don't get to them until later, and they're scary. You got this X parasite, which turns into SAX, and that is the scariest bad guy in gaming. And of course, you get the Ridley teaser. He's like locked in a freezer, and then like all of a sudden he's gone. And anyway, you get all of these different. Everything is against you from different sides, and you see the character development, and it's not like, Super Metroid, it's a silent game. Metroid Prime, silent game. You're getting the story from other sources. Metroid Other M, Sam's talked maybe a little bit too much. But in Metroid Fusion, you get Samus's inner monologue of like
Samologue.
The Samologue. Like between major portions of the game, you see like, okay, Samus is thinking through this. And then she's talking with this computer that may or may not be evil and trying to kill her. And the Federation may or may not be trying to kill her. And all of these things. And it just works perfectly for me. So, good job, Metroid Fusion. And we want a sequel!
Honorable mention to Wii Fit. That's a good one. You can't really see my legs, but do something really impressive right now. That's the tree pose.
And that's a story?
Yeah.
How is that a story?
The story of fat people getting fit. It's a good story. It's an underdog story. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the crew.
Don't forget, what's our call to action today? Don't forget to go to our website where we got lots of cool stuff. And we got blogs and just a bunch of cool things. All our videos are there by category.
Bonus funny things for each episode.
Bonus little snippets. Mm-hmm. You gotta see that. So go to the website.
Go to it. 2buttoncrew.com, and we'll see you guys next time.
Signing out.